And then I jumped in the shower and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll flush afterwards. And then Antonio walks in and like checks the toilet and just sees my dookie sitting in the toilet.
What, was it impressive? Was it standard? I'm saying the dump. Was it powerful?
A weak dump. It was a weak dump.
dumping in front of your friends?
Dude.
Yeah, I was steaming up in there like soup.
Yeah, of course. Who
I've
hasn't
done that.
You know, do you ever shower? You ever butt shower?
What do you mean?
Like you poop and you're like, I need to shower.
Oh, dude.
Like you weren't going to shower, but you shower because you pooped.
Yeah. I remember
you could just have a bidet.
The bidet solves this.
No. But I remember there was this time I had the worst food poisoning. I got it from like Shake Shack or some shit. And I legit think I shot like 30 times. Or 300 times in like 3 days. Like it was like abrasive.
30 to 300 is a big leap.
It's caked on there.
And I remember I was just like, I performed in Santa Ana and I like jumped up a little bit and I like shat myself like performing. And, but like before that, the whole day I was like literally just sitting in the shower, just like on the grate, just like blowing ass, like in the shower. It was just like, it was insane.
That's nice though.
Because
there's like no cleanup or aim.
Sound
You're
nice.
just like,
it sounds like a miserable
of course
time.
I wouldn't prefer it over like being at the park.
Like playing video games.
Yeah. But if you've got to blow ass, I mean, sitting over a drain.
That's
with
where you
water
want to
running,
be. Yeah.
it's like
Real
fuck
drain
it, bro.
game.
Jesus. All right. Well, hey, I think it's about time, fellas. We can wrap up on that one.
Yeah, we hit our 90.
We hit our 90.
I feel like we could keep going.
let's crank some 90s.
Nothing like blowing ass.
Wait, hold on. Well, I have one more question. What games do you play, gamer guy?
I have like
Top 5 favorites.
World of Warcraft for sure.
What do you run?
Well, I don't really play anymore because it's just like I don't really have time. But I have like on one of my paladins, I have like 200 days played.
Yeah.
Easily. Like
When did you start?
Right at the end of vanilla is when I like started playing.
Holy shit.
So I've been playing quite some time, but I never ended up hitting 60. I only hit 70 when people were like in, I guess like Black Temple area.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys.
I played WoW up until Cat. So
Yeah, that makes
I don't
sense.
know
I
shit
mean,
about
I played Burning Crusade for like
Burning Crusade is amazing. It's
2
like,
days.
2 days.
Oh, that's dope.
All right, so World of Warcraft.
Call of Duty's always just a classic.
Yep.
Counter Strike.
You play COD 4?
No, that's the one I started right after that. I played
You
World
with
of War
5 or with Modern
I
Warfare
started
2?
with 5.
That's a hype game.
And dude, I liked 5.
Sawed off double barrel shotgun.
Dude, a lot of people really didn't like that game.
Juggernaut was whack. That was bad.
I love
but-
running
yeah.
around with the MP40 in that game.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
I would noob
He's
to
playing Sheik
and then
in that game.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd MP40 and then
Drop shot
when
it.
I played with my friends on split screen, I'd fucking noob tube them in that
Oh
game because it
my
was just
God.
hideously broken.
Ruthlessly
That's
noob to
really-
He
your
makes
friends.
every game he plays a one-player game as close as possible.
That's pain.
Dig me.
Do you guys remember what were those 2 shotguns in COD 6?
The models.
The model like 1788 and then 2 G18s on the offhand with like
Yeah, you got the
Epic
Glocks,
Commando
yeah,
and
they're
then
rapid
dude,
fire.
oh my god, you just
Yeah, but the
That shit was-
pre-nerf models before they made them worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the COD, Counter Strike. I used to play a lot of Team Fortress. I used to play like tons of. You ever play Ragnarok?
I haven't played Ragnarok.
Like Ragnarok Online. I think it's a
Zipper has played Ragnarok.
Zipper
Oh
likes
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's a super fun game. What other game? Shit, man. Oh yeah, Diablo. I'm like a huge. I still play Diablo to this day. Like D4, I have blocked off in my calendar like a week
shit.
off.
Oh,
like
sick.
Wow.
June 6th to June
Well, wait, what do
13th.
you play? The Diablo 3?
No, D3 sucked. I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Sorry. I remember specifically a month after emailing, like
You were mad.
and like
Yo, to the
emailing
makers
like
of
the-
Diablo.
Like what was his name? Bill something or Jim
Was the
or
guy with
something?
the long hair that spoke at BlizzCon?
I think it was Jim. No, it wasn't him.
What are we talking about right now?
The guy who like designed D3. I was like, bro, this game sucked. And it was fucking bad, man.
Your
I'm a-
game sucks and your company will be racked with scandal in years' time.
Mark my words, signed.
But yeah, D2
Young freestyle.
Paid
freestyle.
D2 was easily like the best game ever made, in my opinion. Like that and World of Warcraft. Like
a guy I worked with, who I washed cars with, loved playing Diablo 2, and he sold weed. And one day he came to work and he told me that he bent and basically broke his dick having sex with his girlfriend by missing, basically. He went for it and he hit like her butt cheek and it bent his wiener. He had to go to the hospital and I saw a picture and it looked like a J. And it was crazy.
And this is related to Diablo.
And he played Diablo all the time.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I got a game. Zipper, hit the beat. We got the 5 Fingers of Death coming up.
Yo.
We said it
All
happened.
right, I'm heading out.
Baby freestyle, Diablo 2 bass freestyle.
But that'll be in the premium episode. The
Thank you for
premium
coming
episode, we got the
on,
5 Fingers of Death for Baby No Money. Thank you all for watching.
Anything you want to promote or say or whatever at the end of the episode?
Yo, should we hit some planking?
Thanks for watching the yard. Thanks. Cheers.
What if we all just did it for free? What if we had train week where we all just put our labor up for free?
Everyone chips in.
Everyone just said, all right, look, we have the worst week of our fucking lives. Like we don't make any money.
Gon is doing his best Mikasa cosplay right now.
Scarf is so comfortable.
If Attack on Titan has proved anything to me, it's that you want. Gon is doing his best Mikasa cosplay right now.
Scarf is so comfortable.
If Attack on Titan has proved anything to me, it's that you want to get a girl, get her a nice scarf.
You want a man? Get him a nice scarf as well, because this is so comfortable.
What's up, brethren? Welcome back to another episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm bringing back the intros, baby. I'm with brethren number 2 and 3.
Can we get demonetized for that?
But the word.
I'm pretty sure it's close enough.
Oh, dude, I'm quitting YouTube if that happens.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Dude,
No,
have we
no.
really gotten so Puritan to the point where we can't even say that anymore? That's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Yes, on YouTube, yes. I've given up on making money on YouTube via ad revenue. Holy shit! For the last 6 months, I think I have had only one video that has not been demonetized.
Are you serious?
Yeah, on my main channel at least.
What the fuck?
Which is why, if you're wondering why I never upload anymore unless I have a sponsor on it, that's why. Otherwise,
God.
I would not make any money on it.
Jesus.
But you know, sometimes you gotta take the L's with the L's. Sometimes
Is it because, do you think of the anime content, or do you think it's just because of like something else, like
it's
swearing?
It's always something different.
Right.
There's like a million different things. Sometimes it's some of the anime content, sometimes it's the language, sometimes it's the music. But as long as I have sponsorships, I'm also very like unwilling to compromise on the way I want to make content.
Yeah,
so
of
that's
course.
as long as I have sponsors, I'll keep making videos.
Jeez.
Hopefully.
I didn't know it was still that bad, because
Yeah.
like I definitely got the brunt of that, like, you know, when the first Adpocalypse thing happened. But like,
Yeah.
I've been pretty good for the past year or so. I mean, you never really got affected that much, right?
No.
Yeah.
It was really weird because you know when the whole apocalypse happened, everyone
Yeah.
was like freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm pretty sure my stuff should get demonetized. I bit my mouth. I had a loss.
Yeah, that is true. Like,
I didn't get it, and I was kind of waiting, And everyone was freaking out. I'm like, yeah, let's all freak out and get angry. I'm like, but my stuff's all green still.
Meanwhile, he's like Scrooge McDucking through his money.
And
Like,
I'm like, oh, here's another Yowie video. Please don't do
Yeah.
that. But then YouTube figured out that Yowie was something that they should demonetize. And
Right.
then the videos just stopped getting views as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
of
YouTube
course.
kills them.
Yeah, my
It's hard being in the 1%. I'll tell you that, right? okay.
My safe work stuff on my second channel. That's why I actually have to give a shit.
I'm actually getting more videos demonetized on my second channel than I am on my main.
It's because you're making anime
Yeah,
content.
that's right. See, why do you think I stopped making anime content?
YouTube just doesn't like anime.
No,
That's
no,
why I
it
don't
doesn't.
like anime.
And that's why
YouTube
everyone
told me to stop.
and that's why everyone stopped making anime content but me,
Jeez.
basically.
Horrible.
But yeah, you guys got to go to my home country for the first time.
We went to Thailand.
We just came back from Thailand. Didn't really post much about it. Just kind of went there. I kind of like invited you guys at very, very last minute to come, and luckily you guys were free.
Yes, we were there for like 3 days.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
3 days was the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Really? I wanted to be there a little bit longer.
I mean,
Because we
I've
only
seen-
really got to explore like kind of like I feel what is kind of like a corner of Bangkok.
Yeah.
the super touristy stuff we did,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
fine because it's like that's how you get introduced to a country.
Oh, of course.
is
Yeah.
through the touristy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, taking more than 3 days off of work, I'm like,
Yeah.
Bro, you literally cycled for 8 days. What are you talking about?
yeah, I know, but that was work though. That was work.
Right,
That was
right.
work.
If he's not
Okay.
filming it,
That
it's
was
not
work,
good.
all right?
Well, technically, I filmed a vlog, so I didn't
Yeah.
get a break. So,
Oh, okay, all right, well, fuck you.
so I was
then. All
working.
right,
So
all right.
I don't know what your excuse is. Yeah, no, but it was great. Yeah, I feel like I kind of agree. Like we did kind of go to all the touristy places, but I think that just made me want to stay for a little bit longer. I think like next time if we were to go, I definitely want to maybe. I mean, I don't know what's anything good outside of Bangkok. but-
I kind of like took you to like, let's say, the more pristine, clean areas. Next time you're in Thailand, we'd love to take you to some of the more like back ends, let's say
Yeah.
like dirtier places.
Yeah, I'm down
because
for
you can
that.
get a lot of interesting things there.
Do you guys have like a lot of like islands and stuff like that?
Oh, we have
as well?
so
Yeah,
many.
Oh,
I think
and
a
hell
lot
yeah.
of the big tourist destinations they're like really pretty islands.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what I want to do next.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'll join you on that one.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It was an interesting experience from like the moment we got off the plane. It felt very different. This is the first time I've gone to a country in a while where I wasn't able to speak the language. Even remotely so.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been doing America and Japan, which is like, okay, I know how to talk in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird going to a place and being like that guy again who couldn't. He literally was like, "Please speak English, please." I felt bad, but it was what it was. But like, you get off the plane, and immediately, I think American immigration has ruined immigration for me because
Right.
I was terrified.
Right.
I was just conditioned by America to be terrified.
Yeah.
The moment we get to the passport gate, they literally just look at the passport for like 1 second, like, get in. Go, get inside.
I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, in Thailand, because like so much of our economy is tourism.
It was like that, dude.
I don't even like. Did they even ask you what the purpose of your visit?
No question.
Dude, the dude didn't even talk to me. He
Looked
he
at the
just-
passport,
Yeah,
hand on the thing.
Silently grabbed my passport, looked at it, looked at my face, stamped.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
they
it.
were doing like a paper please speed run.
like
I wanted to I was like, damn, I should just say I'm working to see what happens.
Damn, I should have smuggled drugs.
Dude, like this shit felt too easy. America, I gotta ask questions just to go to the toilet. Like,
was the
Like, how
line
many times do you
was
shoot?
the line long when you got in?
no, it was super quick.
All right.
And then the question was like, oh fuck, it's not America. I can't like Uber or I can't do anything. I was
Right.
like, fuck, I don't have any money. I don't have anything.
I gotta take a taxi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were like, fuck, what do I do with the cabs? And I also don't have a SIM card. I don't have anything. So I went over to the SIM card.
Right.
There was like 3 of them. They all look really sketchy. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I have 2 SIM cards, please? It was like $10 each.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, sure. Can we have your passport? And then they all whip out their iPhones and start taking pictures of my passport. I'm like, wait, what is this? What are you guys
This is for
doing?
my personal collection.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you all whipping out iPhones? What is this? I was really confused. I was like, what was what are you guys taking pictures for? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we just have to do this. I'm
It's like, oh,
like,
you're just hot, you know. It's just like, I don't know. That's just saying. It's just like, oh, good
which is
looking
like
boy. all right.
weird. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, can I pay by card? They're like, cash only. I'm like, that's weird. We're in an airport. Okay, it's fine. I'll get some cash. And then come back, give it to them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, got my SIM cards. Go to get the taxi. And I'm pretty sure I'm getting ripped off right away.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like they want to charge me something like $60, like USD.
Right.
And I know from what I've heard from Thailand, that's in Thailand that's extortion.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is extortion.
And I was like, but will the taxi be there right away? And will it be a big taxi? Because there was like a group of us, and they were like, yes. I was like, scam me. Take my money.
Yo, bro, you paid $60 for a
I
taxi
think it
in
was
Thailand.
I think it was like 48 USD, which is 100% a ripoff. But,
oh my God.
dude, we literally rocked out right away and it was all ready to go.
Yeah,
And
because
there's no question.
Because when I heard that from Connor, right? Again, this is America corrupting my mind. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, $60 for like what is it, like a 40-minute like taxi ride? I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah, that's fine.
It was a big van. It was
yeah,
like a,
and,
an
it was like and it was
eight-seater.
like a big van that could, you know, obviously fit all of us.
Yeah.
But so, you know, in my head I was like, okay, yeah, I mean that's not too bad. But then the second time we got onto the taxi and the guy put the meter on,
yeah.
and I saw 30 baht was the starting price. I'm like, it's like 80 cents.
Yeah, it was like a 30-minute cab ride was like $10. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Not even. It was like $8.
It was insane.
At
Yeah.
most. I'm like, Japan could never.
Yeah, I mean, like, first rule when you if you ever come to Thailand and pretty much every Southeast Asian country, if you get a taxi, meter only. Like,
Yeah.
if you really need to,
Yeah.
they will try to like get a fixed price.
Yeah, I noticed this. They
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
trying to do. And I get it. I look white as shit. I
Yeah.
get it. You should scam me.
Yeah.
Like he would. I was like, hey, I'm going here, and he just said something. I didn't get it, and I was like, he said like 3 or something, guys. I didn't.
He's like
really-
300 baht. 300
Yeah, and
baht.
I
300
realized
baht.
afterwards he was asking for like 5 times the price
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
front, and then I think like at one point we split up into 2 taxis. Joey went, and then I went.
Yeah.
We all went the same direction, and I told him I wanted the meter.
Yeah.
Joey paid the 300. My thing came to like 100 or something.
Yeah, it's-
so I
it's-
paid like a third of what Joey paid.
To be fair, though, that 300 baht taxi ride, I remember because we were heading to the big markets. I
Right.
forgot what the name of it was.
Chatuchak.
Yeah, that one.
Right.
So we were heading there, and I told the guy that we were heading there, and this guy clearly was very excited. Right. That it was like, oh, he's taking a tourist, right? That
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
speak a word of Thai. So he was trying the entire 30-minute taxi ride. This guy was trying so hard to sell me on this market that we were heading to. But the only thing he could say was 14 market, 14 market. And he would just repeat that for 30 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, bro. There's 14 of them. I get it. And then every time I would respond, he'd just laugh and go, Thailand, happy, happy. And I was like, yeah, you seem very happy about
Yeah.
it. But it was like, I think that's like one thing about like, I guess if you can call it the Southeast Asian like living experience, right? Is like
Right.
everyone's just so chill and it's just like so happy that you're there. That like, because you very rarely get anything like that in Japan, right? Like
Right.
maybe in Okinawa, right? You would get someone that talkative and that like
People are
trying to express
too
you.
chill. though,
People
at times.
are too
They're
chill.
too chill.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons why I moved out of Thailand after living there for like 3-4
Because you get
years.
nothing done.
Dude,
Holy
I
shit.
noticed as well. Dude, people just don't indicate ever. In
Oh,
Thailand.
no,
It's-
lanes are suggestion.
They seemed like a pointless thing. Like, this dude, we were on like an hour ride, didn't touch his fucking indicators once.
No, I remember
Like,
they would either not touch the indicator, or when say they wanted to signal going into the left lane, they would flick the indicator on for half a second.
Yeah, it's
They'd be
half a second.
I'm like, no one saw that.
literally the mood when you're driving in Thailand it's just like, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Because literally you just have to like go.
Yeah, everyone was just being a dick. And I swear it makes traffic slower. Because everyone's being selfish.
Yeah.
And it's just slowing everything down.
The moment the taxi just starts driving off, I can just see the objective survive. It's so scary to be in the front. It's like you are getting tantalizingly close to these, like, especially the bikes as well. Oh my God. I mean, like, I knew Southeast Asia had a lot of bikes, right? Because, you know, I've been to the Philippines.
Yeah.
But like, Jesus Christ, these bikes are fucking speed demoning through these like trucks and all these taxis, you know, avoiding the lanes and shit like that. And I'm like, how does anyone survive?
I mean, it's just like I said, in Thailand and most of these Southeast Asian countries, you just need ultra instinct to survive, right? Because there's like you are constantly just checking every mirror possible, because it's not the cars you need to worry about, it's the motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in the environment of driving in Thailand, I don't care if a car doesn't indicate. That's just normal, you know? But if you're changing a lane, you always have this instinct that there is going to be a motorcycle driving past or a motorcycle doing something.
Bro, I swear, some of these taxi drivers have like the periphery of a deer. Like they just like, they can see behind without looking back. It's I can sense two bicycles coming on the right lane.
What's concerning about the lack of indicating is like, holy fuck, if you're driving on a motorbike, my God, you're just praying that people aren't being dicks.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like Thailand's one of those, like Bangkok's one of those cities where people risk their lives daily going on motorcycles, me included, because the traffic's so bad,
it's
right?
really bad.
And there's sometimes there's just no system in place right now. Bangkok's still very much a developing city, especially with this public transport, that sometimes you choose getting stuck in a traffic jam for 2 hours, or it's a 20-minute taxi ride. Which one are you going to take? And you're like, well, I'm risking my life, but that 20-minute taxi ride, that 20-minute motorcycle ride looks damn appealing right now, man. Ain't gonna lie. But yeah, did you guys go on like the tuk-tuks as well?
Yeah,
Anything like that?
That was interesting because again, like it was like a 5-minute ride and the dude was like 300. And I was like, oh. I was like, dude, I'm like, this looks like it weighs 10 pounds. There's no way the gas usage in a year is probably not even $10. What are you talking about?
I remember the first time we rode the tuk-tuks at night, like Connor did like a full-on gamer move and the guy was like 300, but obviously, you know, we couldn't all fit into one tuk-tuk, right? Because the tuk-tuk can only see maybe like 3 people at most.
Yeah.
So we had to get 2 tuk-tuks, and Connor did like a big move where he's like, all right, let's do a package deal. 500 for 2.
Well, originally I was like 200. And even then I know 200 is too much still. I'm like, hey, you can scam me, but just give me this. I just want to barter a little bit. I just want to feel like I belong here. I bartered with him. Obviously I knew I was getting ripped off. And I was like 200. And he was like, no. 250. And I was like, 250 for both. And he's like, all right, sure. Then he shouts at the dude who had no affiliation to him behind him, being like, we're taking them both for 250. And he's like, all right, cool.
I didn't know what the guy said, but I could make it out pretty much. He said, follow me and make 250.
He said follow you. He didn't tell him where we were going, so just follow me. And holy fuck, these things felt dangerous, dude.
Oh, they are.
Dude.
Yeah.
No seatbelts. You're holding on for dear life. The dude's going like 60 miles an hour, and you're like, holy fuck, this is cool, but oh my God, I'm going to die.
I don't know if you saw, but like before we went onto those 2 tuk-tuks, there was like a group of about 6 people in front of us, right? And I thought we had to wait a little bit, right? Because I saw like, you know, while we were driving on the road, these tuk-tuks could, you know, maybe fit 2 people on average, right? Maybe 3 if you squeezed in. But there was a group of about 6 of them.
They all got in.
They all got into one tuk-tuk. And they're just like,
they're like leaning off the side.
They're like cramped in this tiny little thing. And they're like, a hotel please. And I'm like, bro, if you get
ain't no way.
Ain't no way. The tuk-tuk turned into a clown car, dude.
Sometimes it is extremely tightly packed. And I was like, that, I mean, it's dangerous already.
Yeah.
And that felt like why not add more risk?
Yeah, because I've seen like entire families get on these like motorcycles, you know, like they put like their 2 children at the front and the parents are sitting on, and then on top of that, they have their shopping on their like motorcycles. They are packing these things up
insane.
to the brim.
It just blew, I think what blew my mind for one was just not only the sheer amount of motorcycles that are on the road, but also just like how casual people are driving these things through that environment. Like I remember I saw, you know, usually when you're on the back of a motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
The first thing is like, you know, make sure you're sitting in front, you know, holding onto the driver, right? You know, maybe wearing a helmet if you want to be extra careful.
Yeah.
I remember I
I don't
saw
think I saw anyone wearing a helmet.
no, first of all, no one was wearing a helmet. Second of all, I remember I saw this woman who was sitting to the side, not holding on to anything, just looking at her phone.
Fuck?
And meanwhile, this motorcycle's just, and she's just sitting there like, yeah, all right, tell me when we're
It
here.
makes like, you know, like Jason Bourne like really like sad in the movies. And you see the stunts he's doing on a motorcycle. And you just see
Yeah,
the
Southeast
average-
Asians are like, that's just my commute.
Southeast Asian being like, damn, that's a nice ride.
yeah, that's a pretty
You get a
normal.
whole motorcycle to yourself? Damn.
That's actually a pretty normal way for women to sit on the motorcycles. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times if they're wearing skirts, they don't
Right.
want to you know, they want to sit kind of like that because it looks a bit more elegant, and they don't need to like
But there was,
expose
but
their
like
skirts
at
or
least
anything.
you know, like if I had to sit like that, I would at least like hold on to something. This woman was just freehand, one hand on her phone. She looked like she was waiting for a doctor. Like you know, it was just the most casual. Like, yep, all right, I know my life's in danger right now, but I really got to check Twitter. You know?
I just there's this banger tweet. I
There's
gotta
this bang
tweet
and
this
tweet.
out
I have
right
to
now.
retweet this right now.
Yeah, I mean, like it's definitely like no matter how much I have described it in the past, there's nothing that can like replicate the feeling of just the insanity of Southeast Asian roads and just how the rules work over there. It's a free for all, and it's always been a free for all, and kind of like every taxi you go to, especially if you're a foreigner. They're gonna try to barter with you, and they're gonna try and get the best price possible.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Remember when you got us that taxi? Dude, it was like the moment they saw us wanting a cab, like 20 dudes spawned. And they were all shouting at you.
Yeah, that's alright.
Garm was like, I don't know who you were talking to. I think you were talking to the crowd, and you were just like, no. It was weird. It was just like, Garm was like, I want a taxi.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
It wasn't until a lot later, maybe because I was drunk, but it wasn't until a lot later I realized that they were all taxi drivers. I thought we were just getting jumped by like 20 dudes. I was like, "God, you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, they're all taxi drivers."
Yeah, because like what happens is obviously I took them to a place called Asiatique, which is
Which
a
was
nice,
sick, by the
which
way.
is like a really nice bougie place right by the river in Bangkok. But they needed to go home to their hotel. And so I know how it works. You go over, they see a group of tourists, and like a group of NPCs basically will just spawn.
It was
you know?
crazy.
And one of them comes up and goes like, "Oh, 300 baht," and I'm like, Do not talk to me. I am going to talk to the crowd. Can anyone in this crowd give me a better deal? And
Dude, it was like at the Pantheon. It's just like, it's like speak only if you are willing to speak.
yeah, I'm like, I am not a tourist. I will not even attempt to like take this number. Can anyone give me a better number? And as soon as I just ignored the guy, 2 other dudes would be like, we'll do it for half the price. And then I remember like turning back to Connor, and I'm like, is this price okay for you? And Connor's like, go a bit lower, and so I'm like, okay, I'm like
I
halving
wanted to see if he could barter them lower.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see how good this bartering is.
Right. Yeah, and so Connor's like, get it lower, and I was like,
I said, they're not me being cheap ass, by the way.
No.
You just don't want to be ripped off,
Because,
right?
because 90% of the time, I didn't want to have to deal with change anyway. I was like, just keep it
Okay,
all.
so
I
there's
just wanted to see how much he could barter them. I was curious for me.
Yeah.
It makes you seem like I'm like, no, I will not pay $5 for a taxi.
no, because like the thing is, no matter what price, if you agree on a price, basically, if you agree on a fixed price, it's always going to be higher than the metered price, no matter what.
Oh, for sure,
Otherwise,
for
they
sure.
will not like.
it was like a 10, not even 10, like a 7-minute journey. It would have
Yeah.
been like 50 on the meter.
Yeah, exactly. So no matter what you agree to, so it's kind of like the price you agree to just have the convenience of of just being like, I can't be asked to deal with this bullshit. Let's just like agree for a price.
Just
right?
pay to win.
Just yeah, pay. It's basically pay to
Yeah.
win. So yeah, Connor, I kind of did him a bit dirty a little bit because I'm like, bro, come on. I'm tired, man. Come on, do me a favor. Do me a favor, man. Like, you know, you can go a little bit lower because in Thailand and I'm sure most other Southeast Asian countries, if you're speaking their language and if you're off their nationality, then they're gonna do it a little bit lower. So I'm like, do it for your bro, man. Do it for your brother. And he's like, all right, 2 taxis just for you for that price that you want. I'm like, cool. And I'm like, all right, boys, get in the taxis. And I'm like pushing them to get in the taxis. And then everyone gets in the taxi. Me and Sydney, I was staying in another place because we're going back home.
Right.
And he's like, are you not getting in? I'm like, no, just take my friends. And I'm like, see ya, boys. But that's kind of like, especially like the tourist culture in Thailand, you know.
There's no 50 as well. There's no 50 note. They have a 20 note.
Oh, there is a 50.
There's a 50
note.
note.
I did.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
I did
the
not-
blue one.
I did not see this once.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not have any. These are mythical things I never saw. I genuinely
dude,
thought they didn't exist.
I collected those like Pokemon cards. Like, I have all the
Because
notes.
every time the ride was, we agreed on like 150.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, wow, I can't ask him for 50 change after I just bartered him down. I feel kind of cheeky, you know what I mean?
Really?
So I was just like, just keep the 200. It's fine.
Oh no, I was like, give me that fucking thing. It's like, I know you're already ripping me off.
I think we bought, at one point as well, I think we bought the most expensive pad thai.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
We got scammed 100%. And I know if I told you I paid this much for pad thai, I think you'd kill me.
How much did you
How
pay?
much do you think I paid for pad thai? In like
Mind you,
it was in a market. It was in a market.
it was for probably, you know, like maybe that big.
I didn't know how big the pad.
So it's a family size.
I didn't know
Okay.
how much the pad thai was until after I bought it, and I was like, "Excuse me."
150?
Very cute,
Dude,
guys.
we paid 750 for a pad thai.
The soul is lit. What's 700? 700
For those of you,
bucks?
that's about $20.
That's a bit more than $20.
Yeah.
That's like
21.
$25.
I'm losing my fucking for
Yeah,
pad thai, not here. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I knew when we paid it. The only thing I felt bad about was like, God's gonna be so ashamed. If we paid it. I didn't mind because I was like, hey, I don't mind getting scammed a little bit.
Yeah.
The food was good.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
good pad thai, to be fair.
I mean, all of it was good.
Yeah.
I don't think I had a bad pad. Maybe you'd thought it was bad pad thai too.
You are right. I mean, pad thai is like pretty hard to fuck up because pad thai is the like I guess it's like the most kind of like common dish, especially when tourists comes in that they want to try. When I was like trying to show you around, I was trying to find a store that actually did some of the noodles that I liked, but every store was like, no, we only do pad thai here. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, we're in a touristy area. I wanted to show you guys some other like more spicier, maybe less known noodle dishes. Especially like drunken noodles for some reason.
Yeah, I
well,
want to try that.
yeah, and unfortunately, drunken noodles are normally sold where there's a lot of like dirty bars and stuff like
Right,
that,
right.
which we didn't go to that time, but
Next time.
hopefully next time.
This episode is sponsored by Boxu. Guys, it's approaching the end of winter. And you know what that means?
What does it mean?
Sakura season. Back to the episode.
But yeah, the reason these two boys came to Thailand to visit and everything was because I finally 100%ed my wedding, guys.
You had
The
your-
third one is done.
Your third wedding.
It's all done now. All of the family is appeased. No one is complaining anymore. Everyone has had a chance to go.
He has all the collectibles. now. He's done it.
I literally have collected them all now. everything. But it's funny because this we decided to do like a traditional a traditional Thai ceremony. We could have just had like the reception, everything like that. But my parents were like, no, we want to do the traditional Thai ceremony just because you've never seen it.
Yeah.
So even though I'm like talking like about the Thai ceremony, and this is your guys' first Thai ceremony, it was also my first Thai ceremony as well.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like, it was, I don't know, it was a lot more, I guess, not free flowing is not the right word. I guess more casual than I thought it was going to be. Because you know, I've been to like traditional Japanese weddings.
Right.
And that's like, you know, a 500-page script that you have to follow, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah, yeah.
like this one felt like, yeah, like as you said, it was a wedding, of course, but it was more like just a celebration of
Yeah.
like family getting together and just like shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Which I think I really appreciated because like I was expecting it to be like really super uptight and like very formal, and you know there were
Right.
like obviously very formal parts of it. You know,
Yeah.
like the Buddhist monk thing was like super freaking cool.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I had to do like 10 push-ups for you
Oh,
as well, which was weird.
Yeah, so to explain everything that kind of went down at this wedding, so normally you start off in the morning, and normally the morning is the part where you do the serious kind of blessings. That's we started off at about like before anything actually. These two boys asked me, "What do I wear? Do I wear a suit or something like
Yeah, I
that?"
don't know what you wear or tie wedding.
Yeah, and I was like, "No, wear a Hawaiian shirt."
Hawaiian shirts, shorts, and thongs. So I was like, all right, you're speaking my language.
Exactly. I mean, it's hot enough in Thailand,
Yeah.
man. We were like, no, nobody wears suits. We're going like all casual. The only one who really wore kind of a more traditional Thai attire was me and Sydney. So we had gotten dressed early in the morning, and even then, what I wore in my Thai wedding compared to what I wore in my other wedding in England was a lot less layers. It was just one kind of like
Yeah.
traditional Thai suit,
Yeah.
and like very, very airy and baggy pants is how I would
looks
describe
comfy.
They
it.
look cool.
They were actually really comfy.
Yeah.
I kind of like after I had the opportunity to get changed earlier in the day, but I was like, I like this. I kind of like this right now.
It looks really cool. Too.
Yeah. But one thing I kind of like wasn't prepared for actually was this was like the only time that I had got my makeup done.
Yeah, I noticed you wearing makeup, and I was like, wow, Gaunt looks like he's been airbrushed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, you got
Well,
Photoshop.
so is wearing makeup like a traditional thing, or is that something like your mom was like, hey, I got you hooked up?
So you look whack as fuck, bro. Let me fix you up.
Yeah, I think for Thai weddings, most people want to look as good as you can in photos and everything like that. But the difference is most people don't trust themselves to make themselves look as good as they can.
Yeah.
So my mom hired like a makeup artist, and then the day before she was like, "Oh no, you're getting your makeup done as well." I'm like, "What? What? What do you mean I'm getting my makeup done?" And so yeah, I got my makeup done. I think, goddamn, I gotta say,
he
girls,
was eyebrows on fleek.
girls. Respect to you girls, man. Holy shit. Makeup is uncomfortable to
Oh,
wear.
yeah.
It's awful.
Oh,
Wait,
my
so you
God.
got just like, I think you got like your cheeks done and like your eyes a little bit?
And the lip gloss as well. The lip
the
gloss
lip
was the
gloss.
thing that like annoyed me the most
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
You look like an ad.
Yeah, so I got ready and got my makeup done in the morning, and then the monks came at around 10 o'clock. And their ceremony, their praying blessing ceremony, lasts for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And basically they kind of just pray and give their blessings and everything like that. I mean, you boys saw
It was
the
very
monks as
cool to be
well.
a part of.
Yeah.
When they started singing, that was pretty hype.
It
Yeah,
was.
That was fucking cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, because I remember we were having this like ceremony, and obviously Sydney's parents and family were there as well. And my dad was like, my Sydney's mum and dad was like, "Oh, that was such a beautiful part to, such a beautiful ceremony to be a part of. Thank you for inviting us and showing us part of your culture and everything." And then Sydney's uncle was also there, and he just goes to me, "Man, those monks got bars." I was like, yeah. But it makes sense. It makes sense because I didn't realize this because I've been a monk and everything like that. I didn't realize this, but there's a certain rhythmic quality
Definitely.
when they are praying and everything. Because there's how it works is there's normally one head monk that starts off a verse, let's say, and they say a few sentences, they chant a few sentences of this verse, and then everyone else joins
Yeah, it
in
was cool.
afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the whole reason why Buddhist monks pray is not because we're praying to a god or anything like that, because we don't have a god in Buddhism, but it's kind of to get us in the right mindset to meditate, to be a monk and everything. And I kind of realized after talking to Sydney's mum and dad why the prayer kind of has this effect, because when you're praying, when you have that kind of rhythmic prayer going on for like an hour sometimes, your mind kind of goes into this hypnotic state.
It's like a trance.
It's like a trance, kind of. And then that gets you into the right mindset to live the monk life and to meditate afterwards as well. And yeah, I think I'm really glad you boys got to experience it, because it can be like a very powerful experience sometimes, because we had 10 monks in just my house. But in a temple, especially when I was a monk, we had a temple with 100 monks.
Well, that sounds crazy.
So you're in the temple in this massive hall, and then you hear the head monk start praying. And in my temple, we needed to know all of the prayers by heart.
Right.
So I needed to memorize them. So I knew when the head monk starting a line, I would know when to come in, and I would know when to start praying as well. And you all join in, and the ambience and the sounds that just reverberates throughout the entire temple. It's something something I can't really explain via words, but it feels really, really powerful.
Oh yeah, even just with the 10 monks in your house, like I mean, like the fact that everyone was just, very silent, and a lot of us were like closing our eyes and, just trying to like take it all in. It was like, I don't know. It felt very otherworldly, it was, cause Japan has a similar thing as well.
Yeah.
In like funerals and stuff like that. But yeah, every time I hear, I don't know what it is. Every time I hear that sound, it just puts me like, I can just feel my body floating away, if that makes sense. It's just something about it. And you don't even have to like know the words at all either.
I mean, they're not even speaking Thai.
Oh, really?
It's like I think the language is like Sanskrit. I don't know what the English translated name of it is, but it's like an ancient language. So they're not actually chanting Thai. It's a more older language, which is why you need to memorize it.
Right.
Which is why I needed to memorize it, because I don't actually know what they're saying. Basically I would say it's more equivalent to them chanting Latin if we were in like a European language.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out when I was supposed to pray. 'Cause I was like, everyone's closing their eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah. So
because I want to be respectful.
Yeah.
That guy who's just sitting there while the monks are like, I'm like, all right, well, I'll. Even though I don't personally, believe in it, I'd still like to respect any of the culture, especially if they're inviting me. To go and experience
No, it was.
it.
I remember that actually. It was so funny because when they started chanting and most people in the room were starting to pray.
Yeah.
and I joined in, and I remember halfway through I looked up and your mom is just standing there with the phone like this.
That's what kept throwing me off.
And I'm like,
that's what kept throwing me off. Is that it would be like, I think this is like a Southeast Asian thing where like moms and aunts just seem like unstoppable, and like it's like no matter what is happening, they will be doing what they want to do.
Yeah, I gotta get the shot.
And it's like it could be like the most important thing ever, and they'll be like, guys, get closer. I'm taking a shot. It's like, whoa. It's like, what? Are we done? Is it not like a religious thing?
It was such a power move.
No, I'll definitely get to that point, because being there definitely reminded me of one thing, which I'll get back to. But at the beginning, I was trying to like tell Sydney everything that she had to do, everything she could expect with the monk thing. And then when the monks got there, I'm just like, just follow my lead, Sydney. there's too much going on, because there's one thing I forgot to tell her about, which is at the end, we light a candle for the monk, and the monk like melts this wax onto like a bowl of water, which they will then kind of like spray onto us to give us their blessing, right? I knew this was going to happen because there's what do I call it? Like, not exactly spray, but there's a bunch of like sticks bundled up together that they will dip into the water. They will pray, bless the water,
like
then kind of flick it onto the crowd.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, like sprinkle. Sydney didn't know this. I knew this was coming, so I've done this ever since I was a kid, and so I knew when the monk is about to kind of spray everyone, just put your head down. Put your head down. Put your head down. Sydney didn't know this, so she was just praying in like a very nice kind of mindset, gets a face full of water from the mug, and she's like,
She's in like Madame Tussauds.
I think because like we were kind of in the back of the whole thing when it happened, and of course none of us knew that was coming either. So I'm just like silently closing my eyes and praying, and then I get the AOE splashdown, just like fuck. And I'm like, is this a test? Like, am I supposed to just like remain calm? And then everyone's just getting like splashed. You didn't get it at all, right?
No, I didn't. I heard like Didus and you kind of make a noise.
Yeah.
Because I was behind you, so I didn't get anything. Luckily,
Yeah, I was just like,
yeah. So you're in.
you're in the splash.
I was in the
zone.
splash zone. I was
Should've
like,
worn
damn,
your poncho.
that was a wide AOE, dude. I was just like, oh my god.
And then there's a few other ceremonies and stuff, and there's one thing with like your elders or something. I didn't quite understand what it was.
So after the monk thing, there's this ceremony. Then we get to the fun part. There's a ceremony which is called Ganmak. Which, how can I describe this ceremony? The best way I can describe it, it's kind of like replicating old ancient traditions where you present the groom to the household of the brides, right? So what happens is you separate the two households, you separate the two families, which is what we did. Sydney's family was in my house, and we had walked to our neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And
If you can call that a house.
if you can call that a house, yeah. Some of our neighbors got pretty wild with their
It's
houses.
more like a Disneyland looking place.
It was kind of wild.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and so what happens is you separate the two houses. You have the groom side and you have the bride side. And the whole concept is all the groom side has to come together to help the groom kind of be able to prove to the bride's family that they are worthy to marry the bride.
Right. It was basically an escort mission.
It was an escort mission. For like we went, my parents went full like force with it. Where they hired like traditional dancers and like traditional like musicians. So we separated the houses, and then you started off with like kind of like a King Kong Tarzan kind of chance,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That starts off the
drums are smacking.
the drums are smacking.
Yeah.
But at the front there, we had like some traditional Thai dancers. It felt super weird.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Crazy.
It was so fun though.
They were just like, go here, guy.
Yeah.
Hold this thing. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Connor, me, and Didus were given like a plate of like desserts or something. We're just like, hold this, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then the drums start playing. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we're going.
Yeah, and so basically my boys just escorted me to the bride's house,
Yeah.
right? And so you stop at the gate, and I thought I was meant to talk, but no, my mother was apparently doing the one, all the talking.
This is your mom's. Thing. I was like, let her do
It's
it.
like step aside, son. I
Yeah,
got
step
this.
aside, son. And she has to kind of like negotiate with the households
Trade-off.
to kind of like let us into the house.
Right.
And with this procession, there are 3 gates, and there are different trials that we need to do at each gate.
And these trials are picked like kind of not really at random, but I guess picked by like the groom's house. Oh, the bride's house.
The bride's house. So
Yeah, yeah.
there are different, like how it traditionally is, because families are so big, you'll have different members of the bride's house guarding each gate, and they will ask the groom to do whatever they desire. And there's not anything on paper where, you know, traditionally you need to do this. It's just whatever they feel like asking for, right? It's kind of
Shit
like
yourself.
kind of like a little forfeit, basically.
Yeah, right.
And so at the first gate, I was asked to shout, you know, I love Sydney as loud as I can.
Bear in mind, there's like 100 people all like crowding around.
Yeah. This
It's
is like
a lot of people.
Yeah, this is a lot of people. You get escorted to the first gate. You get asked. I got asked to shout out "I love Sydney" so she can hear. She can hear me because Sydney right now, she's not outside. She's inside the house.
Right.
That's how it's meant to be. It's kind of like you're with your bros and you're invading a castle. You know, that's kind of how it's meant to feel.
It's like a West Side Story.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, here I come.
Because I remember saying, it was like, oh, it kind of feels like we're storming a castle right now.
But there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure your neighbors just joined in. Like, I don't even know who these people were.
Yeah. That was pretty easy. And then the second one, the second gate was a bit more tricky because my family member was like, you're not doing this alone. You got to get your bros involved with this one.
I was like, no, I'm holding the desserts, woman. Can't you see that I'm a dessert holding gentleman? I do not want to involve myself in such frivolous activity.
Yeah, and so she was like, okay, you do 10 push-ups, Joey do 10 push-ups, and Connor dance. And
I was like, why? Why do I have to dance?
Yeah, because at first it was like, go on, do 10 push-ups, and we're all like, yeah, let's go, not knowing that we're about to be involved, right?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
she's like, another 10. And the guy's like,
I'm like, because the boys didn't know anything about.
No, I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I didn't know
what was
anything about this. I'm just like, boys, you got to do this for me, boys, please.
I'm just
please.
holding the dessert.
Yeah, yeah.
so I did the 10 push-ups, and then, fucking Connor and Didas are like laughing at me, right? Thinking that they're gone scot-free.
Yeah.
And then one of them was like, now one of you dance.
Yeah, I was like, why?
Be our clown. And so Connor, it was the weirdest thing. I wish I'd filmed this part because it was this bizarre situation of us and 100+ Thai people around us all watching Connor Fortnite dance.
I just started Fortnite.
It's like a dreamscape. I'm just like, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Yeah, because it was all. It really did feel like we were storming a castle, except Connor was just Fortnite dancing in front of the gates because there was this
He's
one
interrogating the guards.
There was this one very small bridge between like the outside and the inside of the house that was over a pond, right? And so Connor was just by himself on this bridge in front of like 100 of like my Thai family,
embarrassing thing
just
in my
like
life.
Fortnite dancing.
And I'm like, I'm so glad I
It was
opted to do the push-ups.
Fucking monks just left watching me. We've got these traditional Thai dancers. And there's these dudes playing these Thai instruments. Meanwhile, it's just a white guy dancing, wearing jeans on a fucking bridge in front of 100 Thai people.
It was so funny.
Such a weird experience.
Yeah, but thankfully my bros had my back.
Yeah, you got this
You're
right.
welcome.
Yeah, I got in the second gate, and then the last gate was, of course, guarded by Sydney's family. And they asked me to sing.
Oh, yeah.
Sing the song that I sang for my very first dance. With Sydney, which I'm pretty sure I sung really, really badly.
It's fine.
But it didn't
It was
matter.
really fine.
I forgot to mention, even though you had to do these trials, it's normally ended with a little bit of a bribe. That's
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Thank God they didn't.
did you know? Because did you notice like when they were like, "Okay, you're worthy," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you," and I gave them like an envelope.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that you bribed. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I like this culture. Yeah.
Yeah, money, all I can say is, money talks. Right? You can be the most worthy man in the world, but a little bit of
It's like, embarrass yourself and give us money.
What if you had to like barter? You're like, best I can do is $10.
that happens actually. That happens.
Really?
Yeah, that happens.
Best I can do is $10.
It's like,
Yeah.
all right, 8.
Yeah,
Take it or leave it. Boys, we're packing it up.
Yeah.
Squat out.
We didn't do this for our wedding, but my mom was like, traditionally, sometimes it really depends on the feeling of whoever's guarding the gate. Sometimes if they're feeling like, oh, this doesn't look like enough money, you slip an extra like 100, 200 baht or something like that.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just like
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all for fun, very casual. And then after that is where you had like the adult blessing ceremony, which is kind of what you see with this.
Yeah.
So what happens is you go into another room and the immediate family all take a seat, right? And the basic premise is everyone who is part of your immediate family who is an elder to you gets to bless your marriage, which everyone takes one of these strings, gives their blessings, and then literally like ties a knot for both me and for Sydney.
Right.
Now, I didn't know how long this was going to last because
forever.
because I was
You got a lot of elders.
at the beginning. I was like, Joey, Connor, Didas, Emily, come in, have a look, and they saw, both of our parents blessing us, tying the knots.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to tell them that my entire family who was sitting down waiting their turn, they're going to come up and bless me as well. So you were there standing there for like, what, 15 minutes or something?
while.
It was a
Yeah,
while.
it was like 15, 20 minutes before I was like, oh yeah, you guys go away for now.
that way, I
It's
was
okay
like,
because
I was
we're
like,
gonna be here for
It's like
a while.
we're 1/10 of the way through right now. It's like, oh shit. All right.
So as you can see, I mean, I liked the ceremony and everything, but I'm glad that mostly it was just my family there.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of Sydney's family is in America. Because if Sydney's family was there, we would have been there for fucking hours.
Like your whole arm.
My whole arm.
Double thighs.
Yeah, because like everyone got the chance to give their blessing, and you can always tell when you've been to like a Thai wedding because this is kind of like a just married kind of symbol. Because you can tell Southeast Asian families, their arm just gets filled up. And
I was gonna say most people when they go to Southeast Asia and they come back, they only have a bunch of bands or something.
Oh, yeah,
That's like
yeah.
the meme, right?
Lots of bracelets.
There was like some other ceremony where I think it was something to do with elders, but it wasn't your dad. And then your dad was talking to me,
Right.
and everyone was being really quiet. And I was like, "Is it okay for you to talk this loudly to me?" And then eventually your mum came up and was like, "Shut up."
That's right.
And I was like, not to me, to your dad.
Yeah.
Because it was like everyone was quiet in this room watching one of your family like blasting you or something, and then
Yeah,
your dad just turns around and he goes, "How are you enjoying Thailand so far?" And I was like, "Oh well, I just
Not
kinda,
even like a whisper. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like a
quite
normal-
loudly." And I was like, "Is it okay for us to talk?" I was like, "What? It's pretty good." Are you okay?
You know your son's getting married right in front of you. You should probably pay attention to that.
That's so funny. He was just so chill. He was like, "Oh, whatever." Like,
I think after my dad got his blessing out of the way, it's
Yeah, he was like, I'm
my
gone."
time. It's like the party. I'm getting the party started.
Yeah.
And then, like in the meanwhile, like there's literally a line of my elders just waiting to do it, and my dad's just like, "We're gonna be here a while. Let's just."
Yeah.
talking. I was like, "Oh my god!"
And then there was the one after where with the water pouring one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So after I got all my elders' blessing, then we have the chance for everyone else who came to their wedding to give their blessings as well. And so what happens is me and Sydney sat down, and we had kind of like we had like a vase with a flower in front of us, and what the concept is that people can pour water over our hands and bless us for the start of a new marriage.
A lot of blessings.
Yeah, a lot of
in
blessings.
Thai weddings.
A lot of blessings. Every we are very blessed in Thai
Everyone,
weddings.
they you blessed.
We bless the hell out of it. Yeah. And everyone lines up once again, and they take a kind of like not a bucket of water, but just a little like vase of water, and just pour it over our hands, and you can say whatever you want. I was there me and Sydney were there for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was
Getting
long.
The part that I thought was kind of funny was that like I think it was your mom or your aunt that said like to all the English speakers who were there like us was like, okay, so you all have to line up in order from oldest to youngest. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know 90% of the people here. How the fuck am I supposed to know who's older and younger than me? So I'm just like, I'll just wait till the end. Don't worry about it. Like, you guys can all go ahead. But like, I remember I didn't know that we had to like say something to you guys, right? Like as we were pouring the water. So it got to my turn and I'm just like, oh fuck, I haven't thought about what to say to you guys. I don't remember what I said to you. I said to Sydney, I'm just like thinking what to say. And I think I ended up just saying, have a good life. And I'm like, that sounds like a threat.
Enjoy the next 24 hours.
It's like I didn't mean it to say it like that. I'm just like, I didn't know what to say, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry.
Have a good life. I remember that. Actually.
I was like, have a good life. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
No, it was good though.
Yeah, but like, oh fuck, man! I remember because we were sitting there for so long, just getting blessed. I remember turning to Sydney and I was like, "This is the weirdest signing ceremony I've ever seen. I've ever been to," because it literally felt like a signing session at a convention, except everyone was just washing my hands. So many people washed my hands at this one ceremony that my hands were wrinkly by the end.
Oh no.
I had clean,
You got the prune hands.
Yeah, I had the prune hands all the way.
Jesus.
But yeah, after that, everything was over, and I guess that's when the party started. Yeah.
I remember when we were waiting to do this water thing, and is it your little cousin or something? Who,
Yeah, my little cousin.
this kid, this 10, 11-year-old Thai kid speaks to me in like a flawless American accent. and he was talking to me, and I was like, how do you have an American accent? He's like, oh, I watch a lot of South Park and Family Guy, and I was like, how old did you say you were again? He's like, I'm 11. I'm like, all right. Well, if you're learning American, then I'm sure that's good.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
He was so cool.
God, I'm like, this being at this family gathering, being at this wedding, kind of like opened my eyes a lot because I talked to a lot of my younger family members. One, I realized that a lot of my younger cousins, they were like, initially they were like, oh, I watch a lot of YouTube. I was like, oh, that's makes sense. And then I talked to them a bit more about who they watch or who their favorite content creators were. And 90% of my cousins were like, oh, I watch VTubers.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I remember that because one of your cousins that was sitting with us for quite a while, was a really cool kid, overheard that conversation. And he turned to me and he went, what's a VTuber? And I was like, no. You are the last innocent mind. Your mind will not be tainted.
Don't do it.
Don't do it to yourself. It's like, promise me you will not look it up after this wedding.
Oh, there was this really awkward moment where I was having a conversation with my cousin and my uncle was standing next to him as well.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about how he watches YouTube and something like that. And then he says that he watches VTubers. And then like a minute after that conversation ends, my uncle comes up to me and he goes, can you explain why like he's always spending this stuff on his bank account? I don't understand. Like he's spending a lot on YouTube. I don't understand. And I was just like, oh no.
He's red super chatting. He's red super chatting.
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, uncle. I don't know how to explain this to you.
So there's this girl, right?
If I did, it wouldn't help.
There's this girl, they're real, but they're not real.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I also realized, I also had the realization of why I am so adamant on not taking pictures wherever I go. And I realized this because it's kind of like, it may be like a kind of trauma.
I already know what you're going to say.
Or maybe like a kind of trauma that has stuck with me. And this kind of like made me remember why I hate taking photos. It's because at every family gathering, everyone wants to take a photo, and there is never an opportunity to not take a photo.
Yeah.
Dude, your aunt was going insane.
Yeah.
Her camera roll must go on for like years.
Terabytes.
Yeah, because at this wedding, I was like, taking a few photos, and every single time I took a photo, like 3 more aunts or 3 more uncles are just like, can we take a photo as well? Can we take a photo? And then so me and Sydney were posing for a lot of this day. Meanwhile, remember, we're in like a full like Thai traditional suit and get up and everything.
Yeah.
Like, Sydney was like sweating her ass off. So we were just standing there taking photos. And as soon as we thought we had a moment to breathe, we'd walk 5 paces and then someone would be like, can we take a photo? Can we take another photo? And we'd be like, yes, okay.
If you must.
Yeah, if you must. And I remember this was just how it was growing up for me. I've grown up with this sense that no matter where I go with people, someone's going to take a photo. So I don't need to take a photo. So this is, I guess I remember now why I never take photos. It's because in my mind, I'm like, someone's always there to take a photo and there are going to be way too many
There's
photos.
always an aunt or an uncle around the corner ready to take a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
Yeah, but
Gee.
I'm glad you guys got to see my house in Thailand. Glad you got to see...
Yeah, because I remember about that. Because I remember like you were like, all right, so, meet up at the venue at X amount of time. And so, we told the taxi driver to like take us to this venue.
Yeah.
And they're taking us through these like back streets. And I'm like,
Yeah.
where,
Really confusing.
where is this venue?
Yeah.
And then I realized your venue is just your house. And I'm like, why did you say venue? You could have just said house and I would have been less confused because along this road, it was the weirdest road, right? Because it's like, I guess we entered like kind of the nicer back streets where like there's like tons of like huge mansions with like extraordinarily like large ponds and lands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a thing in Thailand, but there were so many statues of pop culture figures on the streets.
Yeah, there was a...
Like,
there was like a 6-foot bust of Captain America.
Yeah.
In front of someone's house.
I had to double take so many times.
Full on Like Captain America's just his like from his abs to his head, 6 foot statue of that.
And then there was like this like maybe 3 or 4 foot tall like Mario like porcelain statue.
Yeah. I think it is just maybe not traditionally part of Thai culture, but just
really.
just sometimes Thai people, especially people around me, sometimes if you can just grab a cool little like ornament or like artifact or something like that, no matter how out of place it is, you just put it there.
Yeah, because
you know?
I remember
How did you get a 6 foot?
I have no idea. I'm like, where? I'm like, did you make that?
Yeah.
Like, because I remember I told that story to one of your cousins, and I told him about the Mario one,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh yeah, he's a doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, didn't even get Dr. Mario? Like, you fucked up. Like, it doesn't explain why he has a Mario in the front of his mansion.
Yeah, I think you just put it that like one of my other neighbors has a fucking Jurassic Park theme gate or something like that.
Yeah,
And
Didus and I went walking in your neighborhood, right? And we just walked past this gate, and I'm like, I'm not tripping. That's the Jurassic Park logo on the gate. And then I look over at the wall, and it clearly says Jurassic Park. And I'm like, where am I? What is Thailand in? It was so weird. So cool though.
Yeah, sometimes, at least from my family and people I know, sometimes Thai people, especially when they're trying to like build a house or put some cool things or kind of try to get a way to stand out, they would just take a random thing from America or British films or whatever and just put it in their house. Doesn't match the aesthetic, doesn't match the vibe at all. Sometimes you're just walking past the house and you see a random Mario statue. Doesn't make any sense at all, but that's just the way things are. It's just
like your neighbor's house that we started that the ceremony in, like looked like every country put into one place. Like there was like an Amsterdam inspired windmill next to a river, and then there was like a very traditional like Southeast Asian house, and then there was just straight up like a concrete block that looked like something out of like Eastern Europe, and I'm like, what is this place? Like, what's the theming? Like, how did
It's very unusual.
Like, how did the guy tell the architect, being like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and the guy's like, you want it all in the same property, right? He's like, yeah.
kind of feels like a theme park, because they're just like, I'll just have a little bit of everything. Why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
I thought it was a theme park, and then your cousin was like, oh no, this is the neighbor's house. I'm like, what does your neighbor do?
It was insane. It was very
It
impressive.
was so weird.
Yeah. Thankfully, none of my family served you boys beer with ice cubes in it.
Yeah,
I was expecting it.
Oh, you know what they
I
did
was-
do though that I
What?
thought was unacceptable.
What?
I was like, "Could I have a beer, please?" And so he gives me a beer. He gives me a straw. A straw for a canned beer. I was like, no, thank you. Like, what? What is this? Why do they drink beer out of a straw? What is this? Can you explain?
Some people just do that.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
I don't know why.
What the fuck? You can't drink beer out of a straw.
I think it's fucked up as well. I don't know. Those ain't my guys.
They're not my mans.
They're not my mans.
I don't think there was a moment where like in the 72 hours where I was in Thailand where I wasn't disgustingly full. I think I was full constantly.
I think every moment I was with these boys, because I only got to take care of these boys, one at my wedding and one another day when I could show them around. I think every hour I was with these boys, we were eating something.
Because everything's so good.
Yeah.
I remember
Nothing missed.
I remember at the wedding, I think your aunt brought out these like satay, like chicken on a skewer or
Chicken
something.
satay, yeah.
The chicken satay skewers, and they were bomb. Dude, I swear, I saw Connor eat like 50 of those. Like, not even over exaggerating.
hungry.
I think he actually ate like 4 full plates of that shit.
I ate a lot, and they just kept bringing them over when I
Yeah.
finished, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I can't let them go to waste."
See, I thought Connor wasn't eating much because I was like talking to my family and everything, and every time I'd come to like your table, Connor had a full plate.
they
of
kept
satay.
bringing it.
Connor had a full plate of satay every time, so I just assumed, oh, it's the same plate.
No,
No, he was just eating it so fast that you didn't see it.
and then like,
and-
even though I was full, they started making other food, and I was like, "Well, I have to try it."
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dude,
I-
the moment you came back with the gapao rice, I was
the
just like,
whole like I was so full, and I still ate a whole gapao. And dude, the question I got the most in Thailand every single fucking time I got any food,
Yeah.
they were like, are you sure it's spicy? They asked me this every food I ordered. They were like, are you sure this is spicy? Yes, I'm sure. Give it to me. On the airline, any fucking stall for pad thai that wasn't even spicy. They're like, are you sure it's spicy? I was like, no, it's fine. I can eat it. I wouldn't have ordered it if I couldn't.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but because like Thailand, you just assume everything is spicy. I remember I
Yeah.
took these boys to like kind of like a casual place where they serve like barbecue pork and some chicken and stuff like that. Came with 3 sauces, and I remember Joey and Didus asking me, "Oh, is this like different spice levels?" I mean, I'd been abroad for so long, so I assumed it was just different spice levels. And then we were all like progressively trying like the 3 different sauces, trying to figure out which one was the spiciest one, right? And then Joey was like, oh, I think the middle one's the spiciest one. Dad is like, I think the left one's the spiciest one. And then I tried it and I'm like, wait, I think they were all the same amount of spice. I think it's the difference is the sweetness of them actually, which just goes in Thailand. There's only one level of spice.
Yeah.
It's just spicy.
It's just spicy.
Yeah. Dom was sweating nonstop.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he's
Spicy,
Dom.
bro, he was just wet.
The squid like dish that you guys had at your wedding.
Oh yeah.
that was spicy.
Yeah, that was probably the spiciest one. I mean,
Right.
you know, like had a kick to it, but you know, I was fine. Connor was fine. I guess Didus really likes squid.
Yeah.
And he put maybe half of his plate full of that squid, not knowing that it was the spiciest thing.
Yeah.
Dog, after he finished it, he looked like he just came out of a sauna. He was
full
like
on dripping.
physically dripping
It
in
was
sweat.
so funny.
I'm like, are you okay? Did you just like run a half marathon? Like, you look pooped.
Yeah, I mean, because I was telling this to Joey earlier because I was surprised. I think you've gotten like a lot better at handling your spice
better.
compared to when
I surprised
first met you.
myself, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, because you handled a lot of the Thai food pretty well.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, I think with Thai food, there's like a perfect amount of spice with certain dishes. People will just make dishes with the amount of spice that it has, and you can ask for it to be less spicy. But I think by asking it to be less spicy, you're removing some of the flavor out of it.
Oh, for sure.
You're also asking it to be less tasty.
Yeah, you're asking
Yeah.
for it to be less tasty. They can make it less spicy, but the reason there's always going to be a little bit of spice in it, even if you ask for Thai food to be less spicy, is because I think there is just a perfect amount of spice level for this food that makes
Yeah.
it the optimal taste. And
Yeah.
that, unfortunately, is too spicy for a lot of people.
So good though.
Yeah, but
So
it's,
I
yeah.
was just, oh man, I was just full the whole time.
Yeah.
24/7.
I do. So, I have a change of heart over one thing.
Okay.
So, after about 3 days in Thailand. By the way, there wasn't a single day in Thailand where I did not have the most horrendously spicy food. When the moment me and Sydney stepped off the plane, we were just like, just go to town. Just go to town. Give us all of the spicy food that we can't get in Japan. And so by day 3, my asshole was crying.
Dude, I was struggling.
Yeah.
Like, I would shit like 10 times a day and it would
Yeah.
hurt every time.
Yeah.
My arsehole was like Mount St. Helena.
Yeah, yeah,
It was insane.
insane.
It was
Yeah.
so sore.
And so here I am at my house sitting on my toilet, and I was having one of those shits where it was like the sweats that came with it. You know that
take your shirt off
Yeah,
poops,
it was that kind
Yeah.
of.
It was
And I remember just sitting down, and I reached over for the bidet. And it wasn't there. And I was just like, if there's one country that needs a bidet, it's Thailand. Why is it not here right now?
When you know the spice they use,
Yeah.
I'm shocked that they don't want to clean their butthole.
Yeah.
Do people just get used to it? Or are their poops normal? Or is everyone pooping like that?
Or maybe in Thailand, the general consensus is, yeah, poops are painful, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's the default.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I ever got used to it. I was
fighting for my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just get used to like fighting for your life. We do have a sort of like bidet kind of thing in Thailand, but that didn't do it.
Dog, it's just a hose.
Yeah, literally.
It's literally a hose attached to the side.
I needed a precision sniper right to where
I wasn't
right-
trying to like fully shower my ass cheeks.
Yeah.
You needed to call Golgo 13
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
dude. Like,
exactly.
that was not gonna work.
Yeah, they had like a hose. You could shotgun your ass. I needed a precision sniper
Yeah.
right where the area that was on fucking fire, and it just wasn't there. So the first thing I did was I'm like, Mom, can I buy a bidet for this house, please? I kind of feel like
finally
I
changed
need
his
it.
mind, guys.
I
We
need
did
it.
it.
Okay, in Thailand,
it.
in Thailand, I need a bidet. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Man,
Oh, man.
I'm glad you've changed your mind.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
worried that you'd
Welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah, no bidet gang forever. I'm glad you've modernized.
Yeah, but where else did you guys go? Like, what areas did you guys?
So the day after the wedding, the day you didn't join us, we obviously went to the big marketplace, which is super cool. I mean, like I don't think we even explored like 10% of that place because it's just so massive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's where we paid $25 for a pad time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
okay.
place.
Okay.
So we
okay.
paid that and we were like, all right, well, let's get out of here before we get scammed more.
Yeah.
So we went to the Siam Paragon, I think.
Siam Paragon.
Yeah, the Siam Paragon, which
Yeah.
is like a kind of a mall nearby. Did a bit of shopping there. And then, I guess just for the rest of the night, we were just
We went to that. We
chilling.
went to that bar in The Hangover.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah.
when I heard that you guys were staying in Le Bourg, I was like, oh, you guys are staying in. It's one of the most famous hotels in Bangkok,
Yeah.
specifically because that's the hotel where they filmed The Hangover 2. That scene at the end where the helicopter comes on the rooftop, that's the bar that it's filmed at. And I know this because I assume everything there was horrendously overpriced.
Oh my
God, you wouldn't
God.
even know.
Specifically because this is where The Hangover 2 took place.
Dude, we were looking at the menu and Emily's like, oh, I think I'm going to get this drink. I'm like, Emily, that's $100 drink. She was like, I'm not going to get that drink. The cheapest drinks they had were 40 USD.
Right.
For like a gin and tonic.
Yeah, we paid $40 for a gin and tonic.
Just
and
because
I'm
we
like,
wanted to see the view, we
Yeah.
were like, one
Right.
drink, we'll check out the view, we'll bounce. Because
Yeah,
you're
you-
on the like 65th floor,
Yeah.
overlooking the whole city.
to be
and it is
fair,
cool.
the view was amazing.
But
you're
fuck those
definitely
prices,
paying for
dude.
the view, not for the
Fuck
drink.
those
Yeah.
prices.
I mean, at least it was one of the strongest gin and tonics I had. So I guess,
Right.
you know,
It wasn't
maybe
worth it.
they were
It
trying to
wasn't-
level it out, but I'm like, it's
Shit.
still $40. And I'm like, I'll just take a couple of pictures up here and then I'm
Yeah.
good, you know. But
Was the hotel worth it?
no, I didn't like my
their
hotel
room was buggy as hell. I don't know.
Dude, like our hotel room, it was like if you want to take a shower,
Yeah.
it was just like every 5 seconds was a quick time event because you had to change the temperature because it would
Yeah.
just scold you randomly. You need to keep changing it. I was like, what the fuck?
see- He didn't have that problem at all.
The
So it
Wi-Fi
must have
was like
been your-
ass, which
All right.
you know is whatever. But there was like TVs missing. What else? They like lost our bags at one point, dude. It was a nightmare. I was
Good
like,
to know.
and it was so expensive.
Yeah, because I've never stayed at that hotel before
I
because it is one of the most expensive hotels in Bangkok because like I said, simply because
Okay.
of the Hangover 2, simply because of the marketing they got for that, it's like that price is rocketed.
It is high price for Thailand. It's like $200 a night,
Yeah.
which is I mean, in the UK they get you nothing.
yeah.
that doesn't even get you an Airbnb.
No, this doesn't
Yeah.
give you anything in the UK.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'll pay $200 and get
Yeah.
like a really nice room.
Yeah.
Thinking it was going to be like goated, and it was not very good.
Okay. I get
Not
there are probably a lot better hotels that you can get for a lot cheaper.
Honestly, that first hotel.
we stayed in this other hotel that was closer to Grant's house for the wedding, and that was like I think $40 or $50 a night. And it
Yeah.
was so good. It was so much
It's
better.
the most godly bed. I've
And
been on.
like the bed was amazing, the service was super good, and then we ordered room service, and the room service was so cheap.
Yeah.
It was like $5 for like all the mains.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And we thought, oh yeah, it must suck. So we ordered it. It was so good.
yeah, it was really good.
Well, I ordered green curry that cost like 180 baht.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How does that make any sense? How are they making money?
Okay, that's good to know because
The hotel's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, I have never stayed in the Bur. I've always been curious
No,
because it's the most expensive one. But
The breakfast was good though.
yeah,
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't really think it's worth it, to be honest.
okay, yeah. Next time you go, we like
We'll go to a different.
we'll get a different.
We'll
one.
stay at that first hotel, honestly. That place is
There's I know some like pretty good hotels that are a bit less than Le Bur, but like even better than the other hotel.
Okay.
I recommend it for you
Yeah,
guys.
I think 3 days was a pretty good amount though. I felt like I kind of had, especially the food. Like,
Yeah.
I think my stomach was like begging me to stop.
yeah.
So I think
How
3
does-
days was perfect.
How does anyone stay in shape in Thailand? Like I would be fat as fuck if I lived in Thailand for like more than a month, dude.
Because you get all the mango smoothies.
Yeah.
There's mangoes everywhere. There's coconuts
Coconut
everywhere.
Coconuts everywhere.
Dude, I hate so much coconut ice cream, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, the fresh coconut ice cream is so good. It's so good that Didas, Dom didn't even know that it was like coconut ice cream.
Yeah.
The first time he ate
The
it.
first time he ate it, he was like, I didn't know what it was, because it's just white ice cream, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what flavor is that? And he's like, I think it's vanilla. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean you think it's vanilla? I had it scoop and I'm like, this is clearly coconut. And he's like,
He hates coconut.
and he hates coconut
with a
And
passion.
He hates coconut with a passion. I was like, Don, this is coconut. And he's like, yeah, I didn't really like it. I'm like, you ate the whole thing though.
You fucking liar.
You're such a fucking liar. How does your brain operate?
Yeah. I'm
so
glad you
funny.
enjoyed the Thai sausage though. 'Cause I was
Oh, that was so good.
As the biggest
I love sausages.
sausage connoisseur.
I fucking love sausages.
Yeah.
As any JoJo fan.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, if you ever had Thai sausage, it doesn't taste like a normal sausage. It's very spicy, very flavorful.
as it is.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I feel like it wasn't, oh man, what's the word? It doesn't have that like super nice bite to it that some sausages have.
Yeah.
But the flavors and the spices in it were insane.
Yeah, it kind of
And it's
made me
goated.
like,
So
like,
good.
like
So good.
seeing you. I was gonna say seeing you enjoy that sausage. Yes, and kind of like being back in Thailand kind of made me realize why Thai cuisine is the way it is. Just because compared to more developed countries, the meat quality isn't the best.
Yeah.
Right. But we kind of like make up for that by just making the flavors
Yeah.
so
Oh,
strong.
for sure.
That's it's kind of almost the opposite of Japanese cuisine. Japanese cuisine is all about letting the meat quality, letting the quality of the ingredients kind of like do their work.
Yeah.
Letting natural flavors take over.
sure.
Thai is more like, how many fucking spices can we put in this? Give me more spices. More.
Hey, it works. It
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
all
it
right?
works, yeah.
Let him cook.
Hold up.
Let him cook.
No, so good.
Yeah.
I heard online before you go to Thailand, you weren't supposed to drink tap water or avoid ice.
Yeah.
It was impossible to avoid ice. Ice was in everything. They put ice in everything.
So this is more of like in the rural areas.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's also on the food stalls.
in the food stores, if
Mm-hmm.
you buy stuff in the food and they have a bucket full of ice or something, that's probably from tap water. But if you're in a mall or if you're in the hotel or the ice I got at my wedding, that's ice that we've specifically bought that has been like purified.
I mean,
ice.
I thought I was going to get hit for sure with the amount of mango and watermelon smoothies I was drinking, but I was good this time. I
Yeah.
pulled the good RNG.
Yeah, you
So
pulled the
so
good
I'm glad.
argument.
I was, whew, thank God.
Yeah, every time we'd go to a food store and one of these guys would ask me, "Gon, is this safe?" And I'm like, "Gonna be honest, you're playing RNG. It's like, but it's banging food. It's banging food. But
You're about to pull the food poisoning gotcha. Hopefully you get something good.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad you guys enjoyed the food
10
tour.
out of 10.
Really good.
Yeah.
Thai food is as good as I thought it was going to be,
Yep.
which is good to me.
This episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh pre-portioning. Back to the show.
One thing I realized is that everyone in my family could fucking sing. And then every time me and Sydney went up to sing, we do.
Watching the crowds just go like, oh. And when Sydney started singing, because Sydney would just scream.
It was so funny. Just like there was one point during the karaoke night where like you and Sydney went up to sing Champagne Supernova by Oasis.
Yeah.
And you know, you were a couple of drinks in, Sydney was shit faced. And you both only slightly remembered the lyrics. So you were kind of like looking at each other being like, you can cover for me for this
Yeah,
part,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I remember I'm just like watching, you know, Gaunt trying to sing and Sydney screaming her brains out. And I look over and there's just about 50 Thai people just like,
The elders.
you know what? I don't know what they're singing and I don't know what the fuck I'm being subjected to, but at least they're having fun. It was so funny.
We're just gonna sit here in silence and be like, hey.
So many clueless people
Having
just being
fun.
like, is this how the song's supposed to sound? Or
Yeah, they were like,
Even from Malay weddings, those random people are just there for the free food.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, like this was we had about 100 people at this Thai wedding
many.
in the morning at least. That's pretty small. That's a
oh,
pretty.
you guys need to have like a list.
that's
You guys need to like separate. Come on.
You gotta get an RSVP.
which is
going
why
on,
like
dude.
I'm so like it's kind of a meme now how many weddings I've had, but I'm very glad that I did because just the amount of times just the amount of people I was talking about even just at my Thai wedding, and Sydney's family is as big as my family as well, maybe even actually a bit bigger. If we had combined our families and our friends into one wedding, I wouldn't have been able to see you guys at all.
Bro,
At
I
all.
mean, it's kind of a flex, right? You're the only person I know who's, you know, had multiple weddings and one wife. So it's pretty.
I'm taking that one. I'm taking that one.
It's
I'm
pretty
taking
sick.
that one.
It's
I'm
like-
taking that one.
It's like, how many weddings have you had? 3. How many wives have you had? 1. It's like, oh shit. All right, cool. Oh man.
But yeah.
Thank God you're both not half-oos, otherwise you would have had like 5.
Oh my
4 or
God.
5
Yeah.
Oh God,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Actually, there was this funny moment where I was introducing my mum to Emily and Dom Didus, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's Emily is born up, grown in American. Her family is Korean. You know, Dom is half Cambodian, half American." And she's like, "Oh," and Joey's like, "Oh yeah, like I'm half Japanese, half."
Whatever the fuck.
Half Australian as well, and they were like, "Oh, we're both there's 2 half-foos," and my mum was like, "Oh, Gaunt's a half-foo as well," and I was like, "Mum, what? I'm full, Mum, I'm full Thai. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, everyone there was like, "Do you need to tell Gaunt something?" Or it's like,
I was
what?
like, "Mum, what the fuck?"
Like, all right, guys. Full white, yeah.
Full white.
Extremely so, actually.
Oh man. Oh yeah, your mom was having the time of her life. She
Yeah.
like
Oh,
she
yeah.
looked like she was having so much fun.
Yeah, she definitely lost her voice at the end.
Oh
of it.
yeah. She sounded like she smoked like 40 packs at the end of the night. She was like, "Do you guys have fun?" And I was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Fucking
I
hell.
went like full-time Marge
Yeah.
Simpson for a bit.
She had a good time. She had a good time.
Had a very, very, very good time.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But hopefully next time maybe we can, maybe we can film a special or something there next time as well.
That'd be great.
I'd like to see you
Man, we
guys
gotta-
try Thai boxing or something like that.
Yeah, we just got to bring bidets. That's all.
Yeah,
Yep.
just bring
Look at it.
next time you come to my house, there'll be bidets,
Thank
full-on
God.
bidets
Thank God.
at my house.
Needed.
Yeah.
Sorely needed. I nearly died.
What?
Context, please.
That's it. Clickbait.
Did we just get clickbaited?
Clickbait. I
Alright.
nearly died on my way to the airport. Okay, so I was filming a video I was filming a video that day before we got the flight. 'cause we got a
Right.
flight at midnight.
Yeah.
So we rocked up at like 6 a.m. and then had the wedding at 10 a.m. It was like we packed this in.
Oh
Yeah.
And
Well, you packed it in.
yeah, well, it was mainly me. That's and everyone was kind of like, I guess I'll just join Connor on his flight.
Yeah.
So we all went on the same flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing a video shoot in Gunma, and dude, man, it was, oh boy, it was like cursed from the start. So I rent cars in Japan fairly often. I've rented a car in Japan from this one location at least 10 plus times. I've been there so many goddamn times. And
They just know who you are now.
I've been there so many times, right? So when you book a car in Japan, if it's winter season, you probably want to just get snow tires, just in case, because you don't know where you're going, right? And I always get snow tires, always. And so I go snow tires. I rock up to the rental car place, and it's 8 a.m. and we gotta get going because like our video, we're on like a tight schedule. We gotta get to our next place. It's about a 2-hour drive away, and as we're in Japan, one question they'll ask you when you rent a car is normally they'll ask you, where are you going? And it's normally a chill thing. They normally kind of don't care.
It's not like American TSA.
Yeah.
It's not. They like sometimes they'll be a bit persistent about it, but sometimes they'll be like, where are you going? You're like, north. They'll be like, cool. Just carry on.
Yeah.
And he's like, where are you going? I'm going, I'm going to Gunma. He was like, where in Gunma? I was like, well, all right, okay. And so I showed him where I was going, and he was like, and then he started talking with the other staff. I was like, what the fuck? We're not allowed to go to Gunma? Like,
Yeah.
I think a 2-hour drive, dog. What's up? And then he pulls out the translating thing, and he goes, basically just saying, you can't take this car. And I was like, what do you mean I can't take the car? He's like, it doesn't have snow tires on it. You didn't ask for snow tires. I was like,
Right.
what do you mean I asked for snow tires? I asked for snow tires. I got the receipt right here.
Yeah.
He's like, no, there's no snow tires on it. So, and I just got like a normal ass small car. I thought, okay, fuck. Well,
With no snow tires.
Well, I clicked snow tires.
Right.
So I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, you can't take this car. He's
Okay.
like, so what we can do is, if you come back in an hour, we'll get you this car. And he points at this car, and I look down. I'm like, yeah, that's an 8-seater. I don't need an 8-seater. That's massive. I do not want to take this.
Yeah.
We're going down like small roads. I don't want
Yeah.
an 8-seater. And he's like, oh, we can't do anything. We can't let you have the car. I was
Right.
like, what? I was like, fine. I'll take the 8-seater then. Like, what can I do?
Right.
I've got to go. And it was double the price.
Yeah.
And I had to pay for it, even though it wasn't my fucking fault. So we walk out, and as we're walking out, the guy starts running. Sumimasen, sumimasen. I'm like, all right, what's up? He's like, oh yeah, there were snow tires on the car. I was like, what?
So he just lied to you.
He lied. I think they fucked up and they just misread. There was snow tires on the fucking car this whole time.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, okay, fine. All right, so we go back in. I'm like, good, at least I can get the car. And they do something they've never done before. They asked me for like my passport and stuff, which they never asked me for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I you live in Japan and
Just give him the Zaidu card, right?
yeah, well, so normally even with that, right? If you have a Japanese driving license, which I do, they normally don't need anything else.
Yeah.
And if you're a resident in Japan, even if you go to hotels, if I'm correct, maybe you have to look at this. I don't know. To my knowledge, if you are a resident in Japan, they shouldn't be asking you for like passport or Zaidu card, even when you check into a hotel. But
Oh,
they
yeah,
always do.
Yeah.
Because if you're a Japanese person, they don't
I never
ask.
get asked, yeah.
Right. And they're not supposed to ask you, but they do for you when you're a foreigner, even if you
Yeah.
live in Japan. I don't know why. It's kind of annoying,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. And same with rent-a-cars. If you have a Japanese driving license, they shouldn't require anything else. Because if you live in Japan, that's probably your ID anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So the dude started asking me for my passport, and I was like, bro, what the fuck? I've literally rented cars from
I
you
live here.
for like 10 times, and you've never asked me for this shit. What the
Yeah.
fuck? He's like, well, do you have like a Zaidu card? I was like, yeah, I have a Zaidu. Fine. Dude, come on. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So anyway, I get it. It's whatever, we're going. And then we're driving, and there's no snow anywhere in Gunma. There's no snow at all. I'm like, well, this was a fucking whole fucking
Waste of time.
waste of time. And then we're staying in a ryokan for the night, and I see where the ryokan is, and it's like there's all these roads around, and there's this big black empty area, and it's just a mountain. And our ryokan is right in the middle, on top of this mountain.
Right.
I'm like, well, I mean, how bad can it be? So we start driving, and as we start making our way up this mountain, it's 50 minutes from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the ryokan.
Jeez.
Wow.
And there's a giant frozen lake at the top.
Right.
And so we're driving, and the snow starts to get like bigger and bigger
Yeah.
and bigger. And 10 minutes into driving this, and it's literally like initial D. like the roads. They're literally just like this, going up. It's like if you were drifting, it'd be heaven.
Yeah.
You're just drifting the whole thing.
Right.
And as we're 10 minutes into this drive, there is a car that is sideways in the road that is skid out and spun out.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, guys, don't worry, I'm a good driver. I'm good. And it's just cars with me and the cameraman. I'm like, it's fine, we'll be fine. We're going up. Down is the scary part. We're going up. So we're going up, and it's all kind of, it's a little dicey. Like you can feel the car is kind of like skidding a tiny bit here and there. And you're like, okay, come on, car, you got this. And we get up, and it's fine. But I'm worried about the next day because I'm like, we gotta go back down.
Yeah.
And it's snowing.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh
Yikes.
God. And the car, she's like, can you back the car up a little bit more in the parking lot? And I'm trying to back it up, and the car just can't move. It's like stuck in
it's
snow.
like skidding.
Yeah, because there's just so much snow. And
Right.
I'm like, Sumasen, it won't go. It's not happening.
Dummy
And
desk.
she was like, yeah, fine, get out.
Yeah.
So the next day we film all the stuff and we're ready to go. And we go down and we start driving. And I noticed that I'm like, hey guys, don't want to worry or anything, but we can't stop the car. The car cannot brake. So we literally have to just go down this without fully trying to come to a stop.
Gas,
So
stop
it is
flying.
initial D.
So we can brake, right?
Yeah.
Because, you brakes and the car will stop.
Yeah.
But it won't slow down beyond like 20 or 30 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So you're pretty much stuck at that. And if you try to stop, the car will skid out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it doesn't want to.
Right.
The car doesn't want to do that.
Fucking hell.
So I'm like, well, don't worry, guys. 30 is a really reasonable speed and we'll be fine. And there's some turns where the car, you can feel it start to go like this, just sliding. You're like, guys, don't. I'm like, guys, I've drifted before. We got it. I'm like,
I've read
guys.
initial D, guys. Don't
I was
worry.
like, guys, we'll be fine. I know how to turn into the drift. It's fine. I know what I'm doing. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll go slow. And you pump the brakes every now and then. Just slow it down. Don't try and harshly brake. And then there was this car in front of us at one point. I don't know how this car was there.
Yeah.
And we're going down this pretty steep hill. And I noticed the car is just like stopping. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm trying to slow down. And I'm like, how the fuck is he stopped? I can't stop.
Yeah.
Like I literally cannot stop the car.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just getting slowly closer to this car. And I'm like, well, shit. We're like 30 meters away from this car. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, man, I can't stop the car. Pretty sure if I slam the handbrake, that's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
So I look if there's any other cars coming. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go on the other side of the road because I had no other choice.
Right,
I couldn't stop and I want to hit this guy.
Yeah.
So I turn on the other side of the road. The car's like, I don't like that. But we managed to keep it safe. We steer in and we steer back in. It was all chill. But fucking hell, it was terrifying.
Jesus.
This dude just stopped in the middle of the road. I don't know why. It's a straight road.
He was putting you to the test.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
He's like, oh, you can drift, can you?
If we were unfortunate and another car came at the same time, it's like, oh, well, I have to hit something.
Yeah.
Like, what do I hit? Like, so yeah, driving in winter is scary. Be very careful in Japan.
Jesus.
But
Yes.
luckily we made it down, no problem. A little skidding
was-
here
car
and
was
there.
okay as
Car
well?
was totally chill.
Good stuff.
That's pretty why they wanted my ID, I think. I think they were like, this motherfucker's gonna crash this car. Let's get the full ID.
Where is this guy going?
Yeah.
Why isn't he snow tires?
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it was kind of crazy. But,
That's terrifying.
yeah, but luckily it all turned out okay. I think I'm pretty good under pressure. I think I don't freak out, so I'm pretty good at trying to manage the situation. But it was scary still, especially when there's other people in the car. Like if I crash the car and it's me, I'm
Yeah.
like, this bitch is fully all insured. As long as I'm good, we were going like 10 miles an hour. I'm like, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to scare them and scar them because I got to drive again.
You're just like, I can drift, guys, and they're all just like, we're gonna die.
Yeah, right. Like other than that, car was like, your driving is a fantastic car. Like, thank you. We just don't talk about the ice section.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the snow areas. Yeah, so be careful if you drive in Japan. Really make sure you look where you're going because snow tires are good, but they can't do everything.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that road was just like you needed chains to like actually.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, did they not give you chains?
No, you couldn't rent them.
Really?
And I wouldn't even know how to put them on. I've never put chains on my car.
Oh.
No, you can rent them, but you have to tell them like a month in advance.
You tell them a month in advance?
Yeah, because it's the snow season.
Oh my god.
These motherfuckers didn't even know you needed snow tires when you come in. So you know, what makes you think they're gonna have chains, man?
It was luckily the snow was light enough where the snow tires were fine. But if it had snowed any more, I think it would just have to been like, sorry, we can't go up there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's too bad.
Jeez.
Because you just couldn't stop. And it's scary. It's pretty fucking.
Yeah,
it's
because I
scary.
mean, like, I went up to go see my grandma,
up in Sendai for a
These
couple
roads
of
are
days.
steep. Yeah, very steep.
Yeah, and like the town where like I kind of grew up, I went there, and I'd never seen that much snow in my life.
Oh,
it was
where is it? Sendai.
no, Miyagi, yeah, Sendai.
Oh,
Near
they get
Sen-
some pretty big snowfall.
near Sendai, but like I mean, Sendai can get some snowfall, but like the Zoa like mountain range stops a lot of the snow, right?
Yeah, that gets a lot there.
So like, so when I saw that there was like a good 30, 40 centimeters on the road, I was like, this is unprecedented. Like it must be like this winter has been absolutely fucked for Japan right now. Amazing for the ski fields, but I'm not going to the ski fields this season because it's just full of Australians.
Yeah.
It's also
No offense, Australians.
no offense to Australia. It's also crazy how you're going so careful on this road, and then of course the public bus driver will be like fucking multi-track drifting going down it like it is sleeping. I'm like, this is fucked up. How does he drive a bus and he's taking this like it's easy?
He's like one-handed.
Bro,
like,
this boy's checking like doing gacha pulls while like full on steering, man. It's fucked up. I was terrified for my life, and this bus came downhill. Look, dude didn't look phased.
Yeah.
He was like,
He's like, yeah, whatever.
eyes closed, dog. I've been doing this my whole life.
Yeah, because I did notice that like the week before we had like a cold front or something. And
Yeah.
Oh my god, it like
Yeah.
dropped like 10
Oh,
degrees.
insane, yeah.
Like
I mean,
we had a trip planned to Sapporo when Sydney's family was in the country, and we had to cancel that.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a blessing in disguise because ended up going to Yamanashi. They really,
bit
really,
warmer.
a little bit
warmer.
like
Much
not,
warmer.
yeah, much warmer. No snow there. Still very, very cold, but just no snow or anything like that.
yeah.
Ended up having a fantastic time as well.
Yeah.
Little thing I noticed, taking Sydney's family around the countryside. For some reason, obviously Yamanashi, I don't think gets a lot of like foreign tourists compared to Tokyo, Osaka,
Maybe
Kyoto.
Mount Fuji at most.
Yeah,
right?
maybe Mount Fuji, but we weren't near anywhere like too close to Mount Fuji. So we showed them to a lot of our favorite wineries where me and Sydney would go, since that's kind of the area we know best. And as soon as a lot of these local Japanese people saw that there were foreign tourists, of course they'd be scared at first, but as soon as they could tell me and Sydney started speaking Japanese, like for some reason, the combination of foreign tourists and a few of them that could speak Japanese, they went from super scared to inviting us to see like some of the most intimate parts of their like establishments and houses. I don't know what this switch was, but I remember we went to this one winery, and we were trying a bunch of wines and everything like that. And at first they were like, "Oh, sorry, we don't know if you can try all the wines you want," and something like that. And then we were waiting. We were outside just trying the wine, and the owner comes up to me and Sydney. And starts asking us, "Oh, why are you guys here?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, we live in Japan. We're just showing our parents around, since this is their first time to Japan." And he, as soon as he saw that, as soon as he heard that, and as soon as he started hearing that, we